Hi. Okay, I'm going to try this. I get a lot of emails asking me to do a video that's just all about lupus and what it's like to live with the disease. And you know what? Part of living with it's having some bad days, and I'm actually having one of those days, so I'll do my best. Lupus is where your own autoimmune system that normally helps prevent you or helps fight off infections and flus and things like that actually turns on you and attacks you instead. And there's a particular antibody called your anti-nuclear antibody. It's often referred to as ANA for anti-nuclear antibody. And that particular antibody is one of the ways that they use to help diagnose you with lupus. However, when they do the blood test for that antibody, too often people get a false negative, and their doctors, will say you don't have lupus, and that's not true. You can visit any website in the world, and it will tell you that it's common to get a false negative. I remember there were many times that my ANA was very borderline. I mean, it was literally right at 80, which is borderline, and so I'd get a new doctor who'd say, maybe you don't have lupus, and would start looking for other things, and then I'd have to go through the emotional roller coaster of it all over again, and that tends to happen to a lot of lupus patients. Another thing about lupus, too, is too often people want to put us in a mold. They think that, we have to have a certain set of symptoms. That's not true either. No two lupus patients are the same, ever. There's no two identical ones. And it's because with lupus, if you have systemic lupus, it can attack anywhere in your body at any given time. I mean, it can attack your skin, your hair, your heart, your liver, your vascular system. There's absolutely nothing that is out of bounds with lupus. And that's why no two lupus patients are the same. And I remember, myself going through a girl at work, her name was Lori, and she used to tell me all the time that she didn't believe I had lupus because she knew somebody with lupus and my symptoms were different than that person's. It's kind of funny that she thought she knew so much about it. But you know what? That's why we're here, because with lupus, it's a complicated disease, it's unpredictable, and people don't really understand it. And we need to educate people on it, and we need better research, because all these misconceptions delay diagnosis. And it actually takes a lot of people, on average, 5 to 10 years to get diagnosed. Their doctor has to accumulate a medical history on what kind of illnesses and symptoms they've had. I'm going to give you a quick criteria of that here in a second. And then, of course, a good doctor will repeatedly check the ANA. And if you think you have lupus or somebody you know has lupus and they've had a false ANA, don't give up. Keep looking. Make sure you keep it. Don't throw it out. Keep it in that list of possible illnesses, because it very well could still be lupus. The criteria is, and now keep in mind, not everybody has to have all of these symptoms, but these are some common symptoms. Joint stiffness, joint inflammation, especially involving 2 or more joints, a malar rash, which is inflammation in the skin across the nose and onto the cheeks. It's often referred to as the butterfly rash. You can also get some blotchy red rashes on your skin. The sun can flare the lupus and cause you to not feel good and cause your joints to act up and your skin. And just one of the other symptoms of lupus is chronic fatigue. You may know somebody who is just not feeling good, and then all of a sudden they're having days where they're on top of the world and they can conquer everything, and then all of a sudden they're not feeling good again. And that poses a big problem, because then people think that they're faking it, that they're a hypochondriac, that they're doing it to get out of stuff or for attention. And that's just not true. Lupus is very cruel that way. It makes you very sick, and then it leaves you alone and makes you think you're okay, and then you get very sick again. Also, low-grade fevers. That's another common symptom. Now, I didn't get the low-grade fevers for nearly 20 years, even though I had lupus. So until it started attacking me more severely, I did not get those fevers. I've put some links in the description box, and they're very good sites, and they give a list of other symptoms and criteria to look for. And I encourage everyone to check those out. It only takes a couple seconds. We did a viewer challenge, and I want to say this real quick. I have to show myself, because the day we did the viewer challenge, YouTube decided to do maintenance, and people could view the video, but they couldn't participate in the 2-second challenge, 2-second comment. So I deducted those views, and I also deducted the 23 views that were from editing and adding annotations. So since 30 people did participate, I have to show myself in this video show the changes that I'm going through from the steroids and the chemo. So I'll be turning off the smoothie mode here in a second. But first, I'd like to encourage you guys to visit my friend Jack's page. I put a video of hers in the description box that I think every female should see, and I really hope that you'll watch it. It's powerful. I think you'll fall in love with Jax. She is an amazing girl. She's 27 years old. She has advanced cervical cancer. It has spread. And she put this video together to help save lives. And it's just, she did a beautiful job. And you know what? I do think her video will save lives. So please, please, get that video and share it. It's just too important. So we'll talk about living with lupus while I show you some of the changes I've been going through. I'm a lot more swollen right now than I was when I was, you know, doing the viewer challenge from the steroids. For new people, no, I'm not going to strip or anything. I just have to do this to show the swelling. You can see that I'm a lot more swollen. The back of my neck, my back is very swollen. I also have a lot of swelling in my sides. I don't have an extra boob down there or anything. It's swelling. And my Shrek look, like I keep saying, this isn't bad yet. In a couple weeks, I'm going to look a lot different because my face is getting flatter and rounder. When I turn my head, you can actually see the difference from the viewer challenge video. So let me try to show you. Hopefully it'll show up. Again, I don't know how well you guys can see that. I'll have to go back and look. Living with lupus, I want to get you out of this mode. I don't want to punish you guys. Living with lupus is hard. You know, I started out mild, and then it started triggering additional diseases, and now I'm bedridden. And lupus is hard because you do have your ups and downs. I call lupus a thief in the night, a very cruel one, because, you know, I'm bedridden, I can't walk. And it actually took that for certain friends of mine and coworkers to understand how sick I really was. And my friend Joe, it took his kidneys going into kidney failure for people to realize how sick he was. And with lupus, I don't know a lupus patient that hasn't gone through that, people doubting them because of the ups and downs. But you know, I had a few really good weeks recently, and I thought, you know, I'm getting better, and I thought I was going to be able to be, you know, downstairs with my family, out of my bed more, maybe even help cook a dinner here and there, maybe go to a grocery store, maybe wash my own hair or brush my own hair. See, I can do this, but I can't have resistance because the lupus has attacked my nerves and my muscles by triggering a neuromuscular disease. And my muscles paralyze on me the more that I use them, including my own jaw sometimes. But I can't really walk, and I'm bedridden. And but I thought I was getting better, and I was suddenly, my muscles started doing better from the steroids, and then I woke up and I couldn't get out of my bed again without help. So I think it's cruel because that's kind of what it does to people. You feel like you got hope, and then it kind of comes and it takes that hope away. And it's, like I said, very unpredictable. You wake up every day and you don't know where it's going to attack next or what, or if it's going to attack next. You wake up every day not knowing what to expect. And until you become bedridden or start going into organ failure, people don't realize how sick you really are, and you really need their emotional support. And so when you don't have that, with any kind of illness, that would be frustrating and stressful, and with any illness, stress and frustration, of course, is not good for any illness. So if you know anyone with those symptoms, if you know somebody who is having ups and downs, strange, unexplainable symptoms, and nothing's showing up on their blood work, keep lupus in mind. It very well could be it. Lupus is called the great mimicker too, because I want to include this because it can mimic other diseases such as MS and other things. So keep that in mind. If the doctor says, you know, it looks like it could be this, but then it comes out negative, keep in mind the symptoms of lupus can mimic other diseases, and that's often why things, when the doctor checks for certain things, nothing shows up. And again, on the ANA, don't let a doctor tell you that that's a definitive test. It's not. You guys verify everything I say by visiting those links. Please don't forget to visit my friend Jack's page. I can't fit all this into one video. I'm going to have to do more. Lupus is too complicated for one video. I wish I could explain it in one. Thanks.